Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Exposition of the Holy Quran. By Allama G.A Parwez. Sura 16, and Nahl verse 1 to 65.
Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Ata amrullahi fala tasta'jiluh. Subhanahu wa ta'ala amma yushrikun.
1. Your opponents, time and again ask for the manifestation of what you warn them of. Tell them that it is sure to come. They believe that those whom they have set up as peers to Allah will protect them. This is a false belief. Allah is far above anyone standing in his way. 29. 54.
ينزل الملائكة بالروح من أمره على من يشاء من عباده أن أنذروا أنه لا إله إلا أنا فاتقون.
2. According to his law of Mashi'at, Allah sends revelation to whoever he chooses through the Malaikas so that he may tell others that there is no authority in the universe except Allah whose laws should be adhered to.
خلق السماوات والأرض بالحق تعالى عما يشركون.
3. Mind it that the universe which Allah has created is not an illusion. It exists in reality and has been created for a purpose. Allah is far above those who are set up as peers to him.
خلق الإنسان من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين.
4. He has created man from a mere sperm and yet he stands before him as a disputant.
والأنعام خلقها لكم فيها دفء ومنافع ومنها تأكلون.
5. And Allah has created cattle to provide you with warm garments and for others beneficial purposes, and some of them, you also eat.
ولكم فيها جمال حين تريحون وحين تسرحون.
6. Apart from the utilization aspect, there is also the aesthetic aspect. What a beautiful perspective they present when you take them out in the morning to pasture and fetch them home in the evening after they have grazed. Could this be the result of a scheme devised for destructive purposes?
وتحمل أثقالكم إلى بلد لم تكونوا بالغيه إلا بشق الأنفس إن ربكم لرؤوف رحيم. والخيل والبغال والحمير لتركبوها وزينة ويخلق ما لا تعلمون.
7-8. These very cattle carry your heavy loads to distant towns which you cannot reach otherwise except with much discomfort. This shows how considerate and Rahim your Rabb is. He has also provided you with horses, mules, and asses, for you to ride and for adornment, and Allah has created many other things of which you have no knowledge as yet.
وعلى الله قصد السبيل ومنها جائر ولو شاء لهداكم أجمعين.
9. There is another important point to note. There are various ways of life open to these animals, but each follows instinctively the way designed for it. If Allah had willed, O humankind, you could have also been made that way, compelled to follow a particular way. But he has made a distinction between animals and human beings. The latter have been endowed with the capacity to choose their own way of life.
هو الذي أنزل من السماء ماء لكم منه شراب ومنه شجر فيه تسيمون.
10. Reverting to natural phenomena, Allah sends down water from above which you drink and by it grow the herbage on which you graze your cattle.
ينبت لكم به الزرع والزيتون والنخيل والأعناب ومن كل الثمرات إن في ذلك لآية لقوم يتفكرون.
11. It also causes crops and olives, date palms, grapes and all kinds of fruit to grow for you. In this system there is message for those who reflect.
وسخر لكم الليل والنهار والشمس والقمر والنجوم مسخرات بأمره إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يعقلون.
12. And he has marshaled to your service the night and the day, the sun, and the moon, and the stars have also been made subservient by his command. They all function according to his laws. In these also there are signs for those who use their reason.
وما ذرأ لكم في الأرض مختلفا ألوانه إن في ذلك لآية لقوم يذكرون.
13. And he has created for you in the earth varied kinds of things. In this also there is a sign for those who can appreciate Allah's order.
وهو الذي سخر البحر لتأكلوا منه لحما طريا وتستخرجوا منه حلية تلبسونها وترى الفلك مواخر فيه ولتبتغوا من فضله ولعلكم تشكرون. 14.
Allah has also subjected to you the sea so that, out of it, you may have fresh food and also what you use as your ornaments. You see how the ships plow through the sea carrying you forward in quest of his bounties so that your efforts may fructify.
وألقى في الأرض رواسي أن تميد بكم وأنهارا وسبلا لعلكم تهتدون.
15. Allah has formed the earth in such a way that you may sit on it firmly while it revolves. He has also created mountains and rivers and land tracks so that you may reach your destination. 21. 31, 31. 10.
وعلامات وبالنجم هم يهتدون.
16. And he has created various other landmarks, also the stars to serve as signposts as guidance during your journey. During the night.
أفمن يخلق كمن لا يخلق أفلا تذكرون.
17. Can one who creates and one who cannot be placed on the same footing? Can you not reflect on this?
وإن تعدوا نعمة الله لا تحصوها إن الله لغفور رحيم والله يعلم ما تسرون وما تعلنون.
18 to 19. There are only a few of Allah's creations which have been mentioned. If you care to count all of them you can never do so. Allah is the protector, the sustainer. He knows all that you hide as well as what you disclose.
والذين يدعون من دون الله لا يخلقون شيئا وهم يخلقون أموات غير أحياء وما يشعرون أيان يبعثون.
20 to 21. Those whom people set up as peers to Allah cannot create anything. Rather they are, themselves, creations, they are dead, absolutely lifeless. They do not even know as to when they will be raised.
إلهكم إله واحد فالذين لا يؤمنون بالآخرة قلوبهم منكرة وهم مستكبرون.
22. All power and authority belongs to Allah alone. Those who do not believe in the hereafter, their hearts are full of false pride and they are too arrogant to admit the truth.
لا جرم أن الله يعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون إنه لا يحب المستكبرين.
23. They will not accept it readily, but Allah knows what they hide and what they disclose. He does not like those who are given to arrogance.
وإذا قيل لهم ماذا أنزل ربكم قالوا أساطير الأولين.
24. When they are asked to ponder over what Allah has revealed, they say, it is nothing but the fables of the people gone by.
ليحملوا أوزارهم كاملة يوم القيامة ومن أوزار الذين يضلونهم بغير علم ألا ساء ما يزرون.
25. They not only go astray themselves but also induce others to follow the wrong path. Therefore, on the day of reckoning, they will bear, not only the full weight of their own burden, but also part of the burden of those ignorant ones whom they misled. How unbearable will be the burden they will have to bear. 29. 13.
قد مكر الذين من قبلهم فأتى الله بنيانهم من القواعد فخر عليهم السقف من فوقهم وأتاهم العذاب من حيث لا يشعرون. ثم يوم القيامة يخزيهم ويقول أين شركائي الذين كنتم تشاقون فيهم قال الذين أوتوا العلم إن الخزي اليوم والسوء على الكافرين.
26-27. O Rasul, it is not your opponents alone who devise such stratagems. Those who lived before them devised similarly. Allah's law of mukafat shook their schemes from their foundation and the roof came down upon them. This chastisement came upon them so suddenly that they could hardly realize whence it came. And on the day of reckoning they will be humiliated and asked, where are they whom you had set up as peers to Allah and for whose sake you used to oppose the believers? Those endowed with true knowledge will say, distress and disgrace is today for the unbelievers. 6. 22.
الذين تتوفاهم الملائكة ظالمي أنفسهم فألقوا السلم ما كنا نعمل من سوء بلى إن الله عليم بما كنتم تعملون. فادخلوا أبواب جهنم خالدين فيها فلبئس مثوى المتكبرين.
28-29. When Malaika cause death to those who wronged their own selves, they will offer submission and say, we never did wrong. Allah knows well what they did. They will be asked to enter Jahannam, which is a horrid abode for the arrogant.
وقيل للذين اتقوا ماذا أنزل ربكم قالوا خيرا للذين أحسنوا في هذه الدنيا حسنة ولدار الآخرة خير بصير ولنعم دار المتقين جنات عدن يدخلونها تجري من تحتها الأنهار لهم فيها ما يشاءون كذلك يجزي الله المتقين الذين تتوفاهم الملائكة طيبين يقولون سلام عليكم ادخلوا الجنة بما كنتم تعملون.
30-32. The unbelievers ask those who believe, "What is it that your Rabb has sent down to you?" They will reply, "That which is all good. Those who do good will lead a very happy and prosperous life in this world and a still better one in the hereafter. How blessed will be the final abode of the muttaqin, evergreen gardens underneath which flow streams, wherein they will find all that they desire." This is how Allah will requite muttaqin. Even at a time when death overcomes these people and they are in a state of purity to them, the Malaika will say, "Glad tidings of peace and blessings are with you. Enter Jannat for what you did." 2. 105, 10. 26.
هل ينظرون إلا أن تأتيهم الملائكة أو يأتي أمر ربك كذلك فعل الذين من قبلهم وما ظلمهم الله ولكن كانوا أنفسهم يظلمون فأصابهم سيئات ما عملوا وحاق بهم ما كانوا به يستهزئون.
33-34. Those who do not believe despite clear evidence, what is it that they are waiting for? They are perhaps waiting for the Malaika to come to them or for the decree of your Rabb to take effect. This is how the people before them had acted and the inevitable overtook them. Certainly Allah was not unjust to them. In fact, they were unjust to themselves. Their wrong deeds recoiled upon them and what they had scoffed at engulfed them.
وقال الذين أشركوا لو شاء الله ما عبدنا من دونه من شيء نحن ولا آباؤنا ولا حرمنا من دونه من شيء كذلك فعل الذين من قبلهم فهل على الرسل إلا البلاغ المبين.
35. The Mushrikeen say that if it had not been Allah's will neither they nor their ancestors would have set up peers to Allah or declared anything to be haram other than by His command. So used to say those who went before them. 6. 149, 36. 47, 43. 20. Our Rasul would not compel them to take the right path. Their responsibility was only to convey our message clearly to them, and this they did. This was also the excuse offered by Iblis. 7. 16.
ولقد بعثنا في كل أمة رسولا أن اعبدوا الله واجتنبوا الطاغوت فمنهم من هدى الله ومنهم من حقت عليه الضلالة فسيروا في الأرض فانظروا كيف كان عاقبة المكذبين.
36. To every people we have sent a Rasul enjoining, obey only Allah's laws and keep away from everything ungodly. Some of them took the right path and others denied the truth, and thus inevitably went astray. So go about the land and see for yourself what was the end of those who discredited the truth. 18. 29.
إن تحرص على هداهم فإن إن الله لا يهدي من يضل وما لهم من ناصرين.
37. O Rasul, we know that you ardently desire that these people should take the right path. 18. 6, 28. 56. Those who deliberately go astray cannot be compelled to follow the right path. They shall have to face the consequences of their actions and no one will be able to help them.
وأقسموا بالله جهد أيمانهم لا يبعث الله من يموت بلى وعدا عليه حقا ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون ليبين لهم الذي يختلفون فيه وليعلم الذين كفروا أنهم كانوا كاذبين. إنما قولنا لشيء إذا أردناه أن نقول له كن فيكون.
38-40. These people do not believe in the law of Mukafat and therefore swear vehemently that there will be no life after death. But they do not know that this is Allah's promise which He will certainly fulfill in order that what they have differed in should be made clear and that the unbelievers should know that they had lied. The unbelievers wonder how Allah will cause the dead to rise. They do not know Allah's powers. When we desire to create something, we only have to say be and thereafter the process of its initiation takes place simultaneously and it does take place. 2. 117, 3. 47, 19. 35, 36. 82.
والذين هاجروا في الله من بعد ما ظلموا لنبوئنهم في الدنيا حسنة ولأجر الآخرة أكبر لو كانوا يعلمون الذين صبروا وعلى ربهم يتوكلون.
41-42. Those who leave their homes due to persecution, Allah will surely provide them with a better place in this world and a greater reward in the hereafter if only they could realize this. They are the people who faced their trials steadfastly and had full trust in their Rabb.
وما أرسلنا من قبلك إلا رجالا نوحي إليهم فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون.
43. Time and again, the unbelievers ask why a human being has been sent as a Rasul. Tell them, O Rasul, that the Rasul sent before you were all human beings and endowed with revelation. If your opponents do not know this, let them ask for corroboration from the Al-Kitab. 12. 109, 21. 7.
بالبينات والزبر وأنزلنا إليك الذكر لتبين للناس ما نزل إليهم ولعلهم يتفكرون.
44. We had sent those Rasul with clear arguments and scriptures. In the same way we have given you, O Rasul, a book, Quran, which you may explain to them clearly what has been sent for them, so that they may reflect.
أفأمن الذين مكروا السيئات أن يخسف الله بهم الأرض أو يأتيهم العذاب من حيث لا يشعرون.
45. Do those who lay down evil plans feel assured that Allah will not abase them in the earth or that chastisement will not come to them of sources of which they are unaware?
أو يأخذهم في تقلبهم فما هم بمعجزين.
46. or they will not be seized while they are engrossed in making their schemes successful, or they will not be consumed slowly. 6. 65, 7. 182.
أو يأخذهم على تخوف فإن ربكم لرؤوف رحيم.
47. They cannot resist Allah's plans. It is only Allah's law of mukafat which has given them respite so that they might make amends. Most certainly it is your Rabb who is clement and rahim.
أولم يروا إلى ما خلق الله من شيء يتفيأ ظلاله عن اليمين والشمائل سجدا لله وهم داخرون. ولله يسجد ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من دابة والملائكة وهم لا يستكبرون يخافون ربهم من فوقهم ويفعلون ما يؤمرون.
48-50. To realize how powerful Allah's laws are, they should see how they work in the outer universe, or even look at things of daily life. For instance, how the shadows of everything turn about right and left in absolute submission to Allah in the humblest manner. In fact, everything in the universe, whether animate or forces of nature, submit to His laws without false pride. They know fully well how strong is the grip of these laws which are imposed on them. They, therefore, obey them submissively.
وقال الله لا تتخذوا إلهين اثنين إنما هو إله واحد فإياي فارهبون.
51. The same Allah whose absolute law is in operation in the entire universe with perfect order and discipline, says to mankind that they should to enforce only His law in their affairs, they should not accept two authorities, Allah in the outer universe and some other man-made laws in their own world, or two laws side by side, one man-made and the other that of Allah. This is the example of two gods in this world.
وله ما في السماوات والأرض وله الدين واصبا أفغير الله تتقون.
52. Everything in the universe is busy in the accomplishment of His plan. Human beings should, therefore, also obey His laws ceaselessly. Ask them if in the face of so much clear evidence they would still believe in laws other than that of Allah.
وما بكم من نعمة فمن الله ثم إذا مسكم الضر فإليه تجأرون.
53. Have you ever reflected on this, that all means of sustenance as well as the capacity to acquire them have been created and endowed by Allah? And this is why when any trouble befalls you, you turn to Allah for help. A logical corollary to this is that all means of nurture should be utilized according to Allah's directives. 16. 71.
ثم إذا كشف الضر عنكم إذا فريق منكم بربهم يشركون.
54. But what actually happens is that when the trouble is over, some of you set up peers to their Rabb, and do not utilize the sources according to His directives. 41. 10.
ليكفروا بما آتيناهم فتمتعوا فسوف تعلمون.
55. In order to keep hidden what we had granted them, For a while you may take advantage, but ultimately you will know the consequences of following such a course.
ويجعلون لما لا يعلمون نصيبا مما رزقناهم تالله لتسألن عما كنتم تفترون.
56. They, the mushrikeen, however, for their satisfaction, ascribe a portion of the provisions to those whom they set up peers to Allah, who have no knowledge about it. By Allah, you all will, most certainly be asked about the authority for your false beliefs.
ويجعلون لله البنات سبحانه ولهم ما يشتهون وإذا بشر أحدهم بالأنثى ظل وجهه مسودا وهو كظيم يتوارى من القوم من سوء ما بشر به أيمسكه على هون أم يدسه في التراب ألا ساء ما يحكمون.
57 to 59. They regard their goddesses as daughters of Allah. How abominable is this belief! Allah is far above it. And for themselves they would like to have sons. When the news of the birth of a daughter is conveyed to one of them, his face darkens and he chokes inwardly. He hides himself from his people due to shame because of this ill tidings. He begins to think whether he should keep it as a symbol of disgrace or bury it in the earth. 42. 49, 43. 17, 81. 8. Oh, how vile is their line of thought!
للذين لا يؤمنون بالآخرة مثل السوء ولله المثل الأعلى وهو العزيز الحكيم.
60. Those who do not believe in the next world, their life is a living example of wretchedness, but the life of those who live in accordance with the directives of Allah is an example of loftiness. Indeed, Allah is mighty and wise. 30. 27.
ولو يؤاخذ الله الناس بظلمهم ما ترك عليها من دابة ولكن يؤخرهم إلى أجل مسمى فإذا جاء أجلهم لا يستأخرون ساعة ولا يستقدمون.
61. If Allah had seized human beings for their wrongdoings instantaneously, there would not have remained any living being on the face of the earth. 35. 45. But that is not His way. He gives them respite for an appropriate term, and when that term comes to an end they will not be able to delay or advance it by a moment. 7. 34, 10. 49.
ويجعلون لله ما يكرهون وتصف ألسنتهم الكذب أن لهم الحسنى لا جرم أن لهم النار وأنهم مفرطون.
62. They attribute to Allah what they loathe themselves, and they utter incessantly that all good things are for them in this life as well in the hereafter. 41. 50. But this is a lie. They are the ones who lag behind in the struggle of evolution, and Jahannam waits for them. 56. 10, 83. 26.
تالله لقد أرسلنا إلى من قبلك فزين لهم الشيطان أعمالهم فزين لهم الشيطان أعمالهم فهو وليهم اليوم ولهم عذاب أليم.
63. Verily we sent Rasul to people gone before you, O Rasul, but Shaitan made their wrong deeds seem fair to them. Similarly, he will be the friend of your opponents for whom there will be a severe chastisement.
وما أنزلنا عليك الكتاب إلا لتبين لهم الذي اختلفوا فيه وهدى ورحمة لقوم يؤمنون.
64. And we have sent this book to you, O Rasul, so that you may clearly state the matters in which they differ, and that it may be a means of guidance and rahmat for those who believe in it.
والله أنزل من السماء ماء فأحيا به الأرض بعد موتها إن في ذلك لآية لقوم يسمعون.
65. A similar procedure of Allah operates in the outer universe. He sends water from above whereby he revives the earth after it has been dead. In it there is meaning for those who pay heed.